Hello friends, back again to our session on the promotion of mental health. Our today's topic is self-awareness. How to develop self-awareness. In order to gain a sound mind, it is imperative to know ourselves first. But the problem is, we are more keen on assessing others' feelings and behavior than trying to assess our own selves. An enlightened person is one who has a sound self-knowledge. And self-knowledge comes from self-awareness. What is self-awareness? How do we acquire it? Self-awareness is the ability to look at yourself. Who we are. Why do we do things the way we do them in given circumstances? That is what we should know. We need to have control over our present acts. Most of our acts are conditioned by our past, but we should be aware of our present acts, how we act at the present moment. Much of the problems in our everyday life are our own creations. We create them without taking the responsibility. We always try to blame it on others instead of finding if there is any wrong in me, if I am in any way responsible for the misunderstanding, the conflict, the fight with others. We have a general tendency to blame it always on others, which is a very wrong way of looking at things. In order to save ourselves from the pitfalls in our communications and relationships, we should always try to become self-aware, develop self-awareness. What are the benefits of self-awareness? Self-awareness gives us self-control. We can control ourselves as we go along in our attempt to know ourselves. Self-awareness makes us more flexible and confident in our approach. We can accept challenges. We can face challenges in a more positive and less anxious way. It reduces our stress level, helps us to make better decisions in our everyday life. And all these accumulate to gain a full control on our lives, to enjoy life more fully. Now, how to get all these benefits from self-awareness? We can follow at least 5 important states to develop self-awareness. First is, you can talk to your friends who know about you quite well. Talk to your friends and the persons who are important to you, people whose opinions are valuable to you. If you talk to them about yourself, they will be able to give you inputs about what kind of a person you are, what are the shortcomings in you, what abilities you have. And from all these opinions, you will get some common areas. And when you get these common areas, you can rest assured that these things make up who you are. Why do you do things the way you do them? Secondly, a very interesting way of practicing self-awareness is to make a list of your strengths and your weaknesses, your strong points and your weak points. If you try to find out your own strong points, you will get a number of things that you can do well. You are able to do them. And when you get to know your abilities, it gives you confidence. It increases your confidence. And when you get to know your weak points, your deficiencies, you feel an urge to get them over. And these weaknesses, in turn, may turn out to be your strength at a certain stage of your life. Thirdly, we should know that we all are a bundle of emotions, feelings, and behavior. But we hardly ever try to identify these things. What we should do is to try to recognize these our emotions, feelings, and behavior. Why do I behave in a particular way in a particular situation? Why do I feel in a particular way in a particular situation? If you can recognize these feelings and behavior, you can get to know yourself well. Fourthly, it is very useful to put our foot into other person's shoes. What do I mean by that? It means putting yourself in another person's position to look at a certain situation from his or her points of view. One single situation has different perspectives. We have the habit of looking at it from only our own point of view. And that sometimes causes misunderstanding and conflict with others. If we can look at the situation from the other person's point of view, a lot of problems, a lot of misunderstandings can be resolved. The fifth and last of all is to think of the body language. We should remember that we always are sending and receiving signals from body language. We, through our body language, is sending signals to others. At the same time, we are picking up signals from others' body language. Suppose you have received a visitor at your home and you two are talking, and inadvertently you have looked at the watch to see time. And this is done inadvertently, but the visitor thinks that you don't have any more time to talk to him. He or she may think that you want him or her to leave. But you didn't mean that. You didn't want him or her to leave. But the signal you sent is just the opposite of what you are thinking. So be aware of these signals. Otherwise, you will fall into the trap of misunderstanding and conflicts with others. That's why, while communicating or interacting with others, we should be very careful of ourselves. Otherwise, people will misunderstand you, and you will never understand why a difference has developed between you and the other person. Thus, self-awareness gives us the ability to look at life more fully. It helps us to make changes in ourselves, the changes that are desirable. At the same time, as we know ourselves and look at things from other people's positions, we get to know others as well as ourselves at the same time. The fact is, without knowing fully who we are, it is impossible to develop self-acceptance and changes in our lives. So keeping this in mind, we'll wind up today. Hope you have enjoyed this session and you will practice self-awareness. This is a practice that is important all through our life.